Good morning, folks. Thought I would showcase some Cyclone gameplay. Nothing mind blowing, right? It's 3.7 the time of recording this. Path of Exile 3.7, Legion League. At the moment, Cyclone is currently the most meta skill going. And I eventually, which you will find out, crafted some stuff, which is at the end of the video. If you want to see all the gear in the video, skip to the end. But yeah, I ended up crafting some gear for Cyclone. It went pretty well, so I figured I better start playing Cyclone. So the gameplay you're seeing is of my final character in Legion League, and the end of Path of Exile Legion League for me. I'm taking a break. And I thought I'd show you the footage of how it feels, how it plays, and just have a general chat with you, to be honest, about random things about PoE, how I've been going on, etc. So as you know, the last videos that I posted did pretty well. They were the ice shot videos, and I appreciate all the comments and feedback on that. Now, if you don't know, if I could stop coughing, I was a partner on YouTube for 8 years with Machinima. Machinima closed and took 2 years worth of my money, which was pretty salt-inducing, but we managed to get over that. The fact that I wasted 2 years of my life creating content for no money, I managed to get over that. And then I applied for a YouTube partnership, and I reached all of the thresholds, I reached all of the limits, and I applied, and within 6 months they still haven't accepted me or denied me. I guess they just don't like my channel and the content I create, and as a result I've basically been permanently blocked from YouTube, AdSense and everything, completely demonetized, and I can never make any money off YouTube. So all of the videos you're seeing are just done when I feel motivated to do them, and there's no schedule, and I'm sorry for that, but there used to be a lot more regular content, but YouTube absolutely screwed me over, and it's hard to get motivated and put the time in to something that I know people don't like to hear. It doesn't give me anything financially. I'm just open, I'm speaking about it openly, right? I could pretend that it hasn't annoyed me, but it did annoy me, right? Working on stuff for like 2 years, and then working on YouTube for like 8 years, and then getting completely screwed over by the company you actually liked making video for is kind of a bummer. I'm sure you understand that. So as always, if you want to support me, the links are in the descriptions, and the best way you can support me is head into Twitch, follow, you could Twitch Prime, you can do whatever you want, you can just leave a comment, pop in and just say hello, right? Leave a follow, say hello, have a chat, or just just continue to watch and just be a silent lurker. I'm absolutely fine with that. As long as people are watching, I'll make videos. That's the general consensus that I'm trying to get across here. So yeah, that is why the content slowed down, because honestly, I can't lie, it was pretty salt-inducing that I've basically been completely screwed. And also, I've been completely screwed because I can't make a new YouTube account because it's tied to my Google account, and it's tied to me as a person. So even if I made a brand new YouTube account with a whole new email address, eventually it would come back to needing AdSense, which I have been blocked from, and I can't do anything about it. So I'm just stuck in the state of limbo. So I just take YouTube very casually now. Now that I've bored you with that, and probably 90% of people have turned off, Cyclone's been pretty damn fun. Spinning, it hasn't been deathless. It's not the most tanky build I've ever played, and in fact, I don't think Cyclone's that broken. I think that Cyclone, to get it to feeling really, really good, does require a lot of investment, and because it is a meta skill, it's expensive to make. I'm sure people that have tried to play Cyclone and look for like diamond rings with minus mana costs on or whatever, I'm sure you realise it is an expensive build, but it is a very relaxing build. Having played Cyclone a lot in the past and basically been put off playing it for this league because I thought, oh, it's Cyclone, it's going to be the same old. Maybe it's got a bit more damage, but it's still Cyclone. But no, I was completely wrong. It feels so smooth. That's all I can say. So basically, if you don't know, Cyclone has become a channeled skill, which means in this particular arena, like or wherever you're fighting, if you were to click across the screen with the old Cyclone, your character would set off spinning until it reached its target destination. So if you ever misclicked whilst trying to spin on a boss, you could spin way too far, take damage, and it would just be a nightmare. Whereas now you can spin on the spot, you can cancel your spin at any time, and it has damage. This is a level 88 clip, so I haven't got all my gear on right now. I haven't got my gems qualityed or even leveled to 20. There were like 17 no quality. And because I was getting a little bit tired and bored of PoE, I figured I'd just power my way to Uber Elder and see what it feels like, and it felt absolutely great. Yeah, it wasn't deathless. I had one silly death that definitely could have been avoided, but considering my character wasn't even at its final form and it was pretty comfortably doing Uber Elder and the Guardian's deathless, I was very pleased with how it performed. So, you know, Cyclone has just been a super fluid, enjoyable playstyle, and I do understand why it's been the meta, because it's just relaxing just to spin on the spot like this. You no longer have to shake your mouse left and right and try stay on the target. You can just spin like it is, and because you are a channeled skill, and because it has like no mana cost, it enables you to reserve all of your mana, basically. You don't have any mana, so you can put loads of auras onto it. Because you're a channeled skill, you get all these defensive benefits of channeling. And again, it just feels smooth. Like, you can Cyclone around corners without stopping. It's quite an odd experience if you haven't tried it. Even if you don't want to level up a Cyclone guy, I would just recommend just getting a character in standard and just putting a Cyclone gem on and then cycloning around your hideout just to get a sense of what it feels like. Because I didn't think this is what it would feel like. I thought it would be a very slight upgrade, slight damage upgrade, and it would be a channeling skill. But I didn't really understand what a channeling skill meant. You know, you can Cyclone, you can get all your pots going while spinning perfectly still on the spot. If you ever want to stop Cycloning, you can instantly stop damage. There's no, you know, oh, I've carried on spinning and then I couldn't leap slam out of the way like the old Cyclone. It's just been such a enjoyable build. And I kind of do wish I did it earlier because I would have played it a lot more. But I am very burnt out on PoE at the moment. I've played a lot, and that's testament to how good the game has been recently. I think PoE has been very enjoyable, and I've enjoyed it a lot. Just in general, like, even forget Legion League, I think the game's just become very... It's a very solid game right now. There's not too many problems with the game apart from my irrational hatred of betrayal content. But apart from me despising betrayal in every single way, I actually pretty much enjoy every aspect of PoE. Delving, labbing, mapping, doing endgame bosses. There's a hell of a lot to do. And it's a very, very, at the moment, a very well-rounded game. And there's also probably going to be a new league coming up soon, right? So I figured I'd just end this on a more positive note rather than, you know, starting out in a negative way. That, yeah, PoE has been super enjoyable. This has been the most I've played Path of Exile since Breach League. And yeah, it's just been crazy, crazy fun. The league content has been rewarding. And I think one of the best things about Path of Exile this league in particular, which I don't think people are mentioning, or maybe they are but I'm not listening or reading Reddit or whatever, is that map sustain's been so enjoyable. Like, I've played the whole league and I haven't bought a single map. I've done every Uber Elder run I wanted to do. I've done, you know, everything I wanted to do in the game, and I've sustained through temples, through delve cities, through just mapping, getting really good map returns. Like, I've got a full atlas, completely full atlas, yes, but I haven't, in previous leagues, you know, I've had a full atlas as well, but you still have to buy Guardian maps because they don't drop. In this league, it's just been super rewarding to just map in general. Your legions drop maps, whether they buff the map drops or not, but yeah, it's just so nice not having to trade. Also, the odd time I have needed to trade, I've had lots of Orb of Horizons due to the league mechanic, which again has made, you know, if you've got a Guardian map but it's the wrong one, you can quickly change it. That feels very nice. And if, you know, you have for some reason had to swap, I've got some people in my guild that I can swap with. Anything that hasn't worked, you can go to poemaps.live, and that website is like basically Tinder for maps. You find a match, somebody that wants to swap for you, and instantly the map gets swapped. So yeah, like, Cyclone's just been very, very enjoyable. I thought I'd just end the league now with chatting about some gear, and yeah, how I crafted it and stuff like that. So if you're interested in the crafting process, there'll be coming up next is like how I made my gear. And just thank you for again watching my content this league. And if I'm still motivated or still here next league, because you know I do like making videos, then I'm sure I'll be making videos on PoE next league. I do plan on making some football based videos, or soccer for those from America. So I understand that's not going to be for everybody, but I am trying to make sort of a season review for the team I support. So maybe I'll do that, maybe I won't. These are ideas I've just got in my head. So yeah, ways to support me in the description. Coming up next is the gearing section of the video. And thank you all for tuning in. Alright folks, I thought I'd just show you around the gear. For the Cyclone, he's currently de-geared because it's all tabs have been tidied and ready to go to standard as I've finished the league. But for my last build I played Cyclone. I ended up crafting pretty much all my own gear again. Just like the ice shot guy, you can see here all the stuff that has been de-geared up for sale, like the belt and stuff like that, the helmet. We moved on to playing Cyclone and we spent the remaining currency. The footage you've seen in the background is going to be of, you know, all the different types of, you know, gameplay, kills, Uber Elder, that type of stuff that it did. It did all the content in the game, no surprise. It's Cyclone, it's pretty good. And I'll show you some of the gear that I made. So the foils we were using these Dictator of Celebration foils with 3 white sockets, 30 quality, and multi-modded them out. The process for these was pretty much, you got your Dictators of Celebration, as you can see here, took it into the bestiary, imprinted it, regaled it, pray you get a big regal, and then annul, and pray you annul one of the mods. That was the process. It actually took me about 20 attempts to get a sort of one ready to multi-mod. So what I was doing after that was I bought another one. I bought a Dictators of Celebration. I would imprint, I would regal, and I would then split. When I split, hopefully the mods would drop in the correct way, that I would have another copy, and the regaled mod that I just created would drop onto the sword, the second sword. So you'd have basically, like you can see here, these are like my failed copies. I've been selling these, the 3 white 30 quality, people buy them as crafting bases. But basically you split it, you know, pray that, you know, let's say you regal 20 fire damage onto it, you then split, and hopefully you end up with a white one like this that has 20 fire damage on, and another one like this. And then you imprint the copy, and boom, you've got 2. So that's kind of how I did it. Someone from Twitch chat called Darius actually gave me one of these to split. So I took his base, and I ended up spending, about 30 exalts trying to get 2 copies. In the end, it was technically worth it because we had all these, we had different copies to sell, blah blah blah. But yeah, that's kind of what the ended up swords looked like, and we divined them to be pretty high DPS. I think they were like 498 DPS, these 2 ones, and that's what we used for the end game content. The helmet was an interesting craft. I decided I'd craft this with fossils, and interestingly, this is a dense fossil and a jagged fossil. So originally I was just going for max life, increased nearby enemies take increased physical, and then that would be it. But then I caught a YouTube video, and he basically said that if you use a dense fossil, you can get increased effective fortify. So I began spamming dense fossils on a helmet with blood rage attack speed. The reason for this is Cyclone attack speed is 15%, and it was about 15 exalts last time I checked when I was doing this build. and Cyclone damage was about 15 exalts. So I figured for 3% less attack speed, I'd get this. Bought this and began crafting it. I think it cost me about 10 exalts in fossils slash multi-modding to create this. It's not worth 50 exalts, please ignore the prices on them. But I saw a similar one up for about 18 exalts, 15 exalts, so I made some profit. But yeah, that's what that looks like. So I would be using Fortify in my chest piece. Because, yeah, I had Fortify nodes on the tree, as you can see, like here. Different Fortify nodes. And I had Fortify on in effect here, so I pretty much stuck with it. It makes me feel a bit tankier as well. Rings, these were not impressive. These were like my least impressive bit of gear because they didn't need to be that impressive due to the fact all my other gear was good. So yeah, these were just simply 2 diamond rings with some fizz, a little bit of int, and that covered it. My belt dropped for me. Yep, this belt dropped for me. Tier 1 ES, Tier 1 Life, Tier 1 Fire, and then 2 solid reses, which is pretty decent. So I just ended up sticking with that. In fact, yeah, I ended up sticking with that belt. I might have even exalted on that lightning res or something. But yeah, the belt was pretty decent. This was just a bow for leveling a load of Cyclone gems whilst I was playing. I had a Watcher's Eye that was simply pride damage, so I just went for some pride damage. It was a couple exalts or something like that. The amulet was crit, life, int, a tiny bit of fizz, which I actually exalted on. Unluckily, I didn't get a good roll. And then I just put on melee damage slash +1 range, so that's how that was functioning. Flasks are just generic Quicksilver, Silver, Diamond, Lion's Roar, Staunching. Then you've obviously got my boots that, I mean, I say they're not worth a mirror, but honestly, in Standard, there won't be that many pairs of boots different, so, you know, maybe I get 100 exalts from, maybe I get 50 exalts, I don't know. But I don't know, I just stuck them there so nobody would bug me whilst I signed in, because no one's going to ping me for a mirror. So yeah, those are my boots that carried me. They're just a shit ton of resistances, and some spell dodge makes me slightly tankier. And then the chest piece, which I feel like was actually a bargain. There's some guy offering me 55 chaos for some perfect 2-socket Tomb Fists, and there's a guy offering me 3 exalts for that belt. So yep, someone's offering me 3 exalts for that belt. So yeah, this cost me 6 exalts, right? And I feel like that was a pretty good purchase. Minus 15 mana cost, like my Cyclone be free, had pretty much perfect increased crit chance, and then it just had multi-modded life and max life on it. So yeah, it was pretty good, to be honest. You could even craft it further. You know, you could remove the crafted mods and then put an additional curse on there or something if you didn't want the max life or the flat life or something like that. So that was the chest piece we'd been rolling. The gloves, I created these myself with a pristine fossil for the max life. I just used a single pristine fossil on a pair of 86 gloves that dropped from a 5-way Legion fight. They got 48 res, life, fizz, max life, and then I could craft life on them. So that's what sort of inspired me to do Cyclone. Even though they're not the most incredible gloves, I basically chucked a fossil on these and then was like, well, they're pretty fizz gloves, and I do have the foil, I should probably start playing Cyclone. So yeah, that was the gear we ended up using. Helmet, sword, chest piece, gloves. And I thought I'd just show off some of the stuff I've been crafting, because this league I've spent all my currency. I don't have any currency left in the tab, and everything's gone into crafting some really nice gear. So, you know, I've got the boots to take back to Standard that I don't know what I'll do. I've got a nice little chest piece, a nice helmet there that's interesting, some good foils and a base. You know, we've got some interesting things to take back. So, should be pretty good. And that's kind of a wrap for the gearing of the build.